Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be in the military? And have you ever wondered what it was like to really serve in the United States military? Are you considering enlisting or know someone who is? You come to the right place. My name is Gary, and this is Military Illumination, a podcast where I talk about things that the military don't want you to know about. I shoot through actual events, historical events, my personal involvement. I help you understand what is really the pitfalls of being in the military. I appreciate you finding me and staying. It's a simple conversation over a cup of coffee about things that you need to know about before enlisting in the military. I'm a veteran. I spent 8 years, 5 months, 28 days, about 6.5 hours. But my experience has come through an event that happened after I got out and involved with a friend. It was that event that opened my eyes to the truth behind the military. And I'm going to share it with you. I appreciate you just hang in there. You're going to learn something. You're going to walk away. And I actually share it. And if you're a veteran or you know a veteran, then I really want them to speak out if they have a story to tell. So let's get started, shall we? Yeah. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be in the military, or have you ever wondered what it's like to be the United States military, whether it's one of the armed forces? Have you ever considered it or know someone who is considering it? Then you've come to the right place. Chances are you probably didn't land here by accident. Military Illumination with Gary is a podcast that talks about things the military don't want you to know about. Through stories, personal experience, historical events, and even actually data information from the military, I illuminate the truth to help you understand what it's like, and provide you with information that's going to help you make an informed decision considering it. At the very least, help you understand what a military person, soldier, Navy, sailor, Marine, Airman, Coast Guard goes through serving in the country. Thank you very much for listening. Today, our conversation is going to be about, what is it going to be about? It's going to be about what happened in 1998. Season number 3. I can't believe I've made it this far. This is my coming out season, if you would. Okay. It's where the reason why I even started this podcast, I'm going to expose the truth. Okay. So hang in there with me. Listen. Thank you very much. Season number 3. The first couple of seasons, mostly all I've talked about was there's 4 things you got to understand about the military. If you grasp these 4 things, I would say this is the foundation. If you grasp these 4 things, which I say is the foundation, you will have an understanding of the military and enough information to determine whether it's for you or not, if you're not in, right? but it also help you avoid the pitfalls if you are in. These 4 things, I keep saying these 4 things that you have to know about. The 4 fundamentals. And I think I'm going to start my whole podcast every year. I'm going to start every episode. I'm starting the same way. But this season, or not say every episode, but every season, I'm going to start the same way because you got to know these things. It's important for a person to understand these things. I keep saying these things because I'll get to it, right? These 4 things that you have to ingrain in your mind, because from those 4 things, everything else will falls into place. Everything else will make sense. And there's no getting around it. There's no avoiding it. There's nothing. Because it is what it is. It's part of in the fabric of the military. And these 4 things I'm going to talk about. And then season 3 is dedicated to my friend, to an incident that happened with the Washington National Guard and Brett D Daugherty and a whole slew of 11 officers, right? Where they persecuted an innocent person, malicious persecution. And they had the support of the Governor Gary Locke at the time, Christian Gregoire at the time, the Attorney General. They had the support of senators, representatives to do what they did. But I'm going to share, I'm going to explain, I'm going to expose what they did. I used their names because I'm using them as an example, right? And you look at them as an example. I believe that as long as you say the military did that, I think that hides it. But once you start putting the names and faces to the events and the actions, it makes it real. Because the things that we're going to talk about, things that happen all the time in the military, it's not an isolated thing. It is not isolated. Let that understand to you. It is normal. And helping my friend out and being a part of that situation, and then reflecting on my enlistment, it all became clear. What I thought was just an isolated incident, it wasn't. That's what I keep telling people. You think about you doing the military for 20 years, you're not guaranteed it. When that's the way the system is, you're not guaranteed it. And if you listen to this season number 3, you're going to learn, you're going to know, you're going to understand. And all of this is verifiable. You can contact Brett D Daugherty and ask him. Great. Right. Dwight Williams, you can ask them. But let me get started here. What really got me going today, which is Friday, Friday night 55, that's my saying, was an email that I recovered. It was a copy of an email that was in the file at the governor's office that I had asked for. It's a long story, but back in when the incident still happened, everything happened. And so today I came across it, and it just blew me up. It just brought back everything. And I will read it to you. It'll lay the foundation for what we're talking about. These 4 things that I'm talking about that you need to know is, first of all, the Feres Doctrine. I'll talk about that really quickly. That's the first thing. You got to understand that. That normally you don't hear about the Feres Doctrine until the shit hits the fan. Till you're in trouble, or till something's happened where you're looking for answers, you're looking for accountability. That's when you hear about the Feres Doctrine, because it prevents you from taking the action you need to solve the issue. Okay? That's the first thing. Feres Doctrine. Second thing that you need to understand is that your congressional leaders and your representatives are not your friend. Once again, Your congressional leaders, your representatives are not your friend. They're not your supporters. You can't count on them. Okay? Mainly because that's not their job. And I'll go into that, and also we'll go into that. Why I say that. Third of all is understand that the civilian courts, they're not your friend. No, they're not. Time and time again, they've in their court cases that they've said they would not second guess the command. They would not second guess the leadership of the military. So you're not going to get any support from the court systems. Yes, they'll take your money that you can run through the system, but in the end, it's going to be the same. And then finally, there's JAG, the Judge Advocate General. Best way I would do, not the best way, but I would say is that the JAG is nothing more than a mockery of justice. You can't trust him. Once again, I'm going to say here, you can't trust him. You can't trust him. They're about as worthless judicially as a cow pie in the plains of the Midwest. But at least cow pie you burn for heat. JAG, there's nothing useful about them. If it sounds like I'm one-sided, oh yeah, you're going to find out why. But for your protection, you cannot align yourself with JAG, the Judge Advocate General. Don't look at them as your friend. Look at them as your enemy. Okay? And then there you go. Those are the 4 things that you need to know before going in, before making a decision. And you're going to see how all 4 of these came into play as I talk about it, as I share this story. I'm going to take it from day 1, set the stage, and along the way, everything that happened. It's true. Now, what Brett Daugherty, Robin Davis, Dwight Williams, those are all JAGs, Donald Bennett, Krista Jefferson, Gregory Goodell, okay, Sergeant Major Barr, Major William Palmer Shaw, where all these characters didn't count on. Christine Gregoire, Jonathan McCoy, which is at that time was the assistant G, right? With the Washington Military Department, Legowitz, all these people didn't count on was that their deeds will be highlighted. They thought they were getting away with it, like every other military person, officer. They thought they were. They thought it was over with. Then I'm going to go into it. But what's happened, technology caught up. I'm no longer angry for what they did. It took me years to get over it. But now I see, as a result of how it can be, our experience could help other people, how they can help other people. My enlistment, as I said before, when I reflect back on it, I said, wow. I'm in with this. I was very proud to serve. I came from a military family. It was an honor, right? Some of the things that happened made me question, but mostly what happened with my friend and the thing with the National Guard. Yeah. Now, it wasn't just isolated with Washington. I went to the Department of, like I said before, my experience has been everything. And why did I go everything? Because I couldn't believe that this was happening. I'm saying surely somebody's got to stand up for the truth. Surely this can't be happening. Right? That's why I had my friend pursue it. That's why I had my friend pursue it. And I helped him. And other people helped him. You know, my journey took, at the time, 1998, took me through the court systems, district court, Department of Defense, the National Guard Bureau, White House, military, Army appeals, various offices, congressional leaders. Yeah. And so, I've been there. And I'm sharing with you season number 3. What can you expect from season number 3? 3 things. The incident revealed, how it happened, and how that connects to these four things I've mentioned: Feres Doctrine, congressional leaders, civilian courts, and JAG. How that all connects together, and how what Daugherty did is a case study of what to expect in the military. Everything that you want to do, what you understand, you got to understand that. These 4 things. Well, what that means is this: that everything the military promised, you got to bounce up against the Feres Doctrine of everything I mentioned. Because there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. And you don't have to do anything wrong. You don't have to do anything wrong. It's just about retaliation. Because when you go in the military, you're in a different world where the rules don't apply. You're basically, I don't know how I can get you to understand that. It's like walking through the door, and what you know is the truth doesn't apply there no more. I guess it would be like going back in time to slavery, back in that time. Whereas slaves, whether you're indentured slavery, they had white slaves too. Anytime they had slaves, it wasn't just in America we had slaves. There were always slaves. But if you know what slaves, you have no rights. That slave owner can do with your property. They can do what you want to do anyway. They can treat them anyway. No one's going to say anything. And that's kind of what it's like. So I rambled on. And I rambled on. I'm actually driving. I'm actually just driving, thinking. Yeah. And got my mobile setup here and just trying that out. But that's what season number 3 is going to be about. Follow it. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. And that's it. I guess there's nothing else to say other than be careful when you think about the military. Beware of the traps. Take what they say as a grain of thought, a grain of salt. Above all else, don't trust them. Well, my coffee's gone. I am drinking coffee here. I'm driving. And we'll leave you with this. Come back for the next episode while we'll just start the process. Season number 3. Enjoy your time. Thank you for listening. Keep searching for answers.